Hi, I'm Tyler here for TK24 Sports and you're watching the game day preview show. Of course, we're highlighting today's first game, which will be Spurs versus Palace, Selhurst Park, 11th of March, 12:30 kickoff, shown exclusively on BT Sports if you're watching from the UK. Now, what do you get from a game day preview show? Well, we here at TK24 Sports like to give you the head-to-head, then show you the previous results, as well as finish the show off with the form guide. And then we make a conclusion on which way we think this game's going to go. So you get all that and more information that keeps on coming up in this show. So that's why it's important you watch the entire show and not just go 1 or 2 minutes, watch the entire show, because so much information that comes out the more you watch. So you ready? Let's kick the show off with head-to-head. So as you can see, these two teams have played 24 times in the Premier League, Spurs winning 7, also drawing the 7 games between Palace and Spurs, plus 7 home wins, 7 away wins, compared to Palace's 3 wins in total, 2 at home and 1 away. Well, this game is played at Selhurst Park. I think you can turn around and see this could be a Spurs win. Now you're thinking, why the hell have you just come out and just said who's going to win the game? So what's the point in watching the rest of the show? I didn't say Spurs going to win this one. I just said if you look at the stats, it looks like it could be a Spurs win, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Patrick Vieira's new signing of Édouard from Celtic, that's right. This guy has some great stats behind him. Now he's coming up against Harry Kane, and of course Nuno is the new Spurs manager, bringing Spurs to life with a new tough, rugged look about them. Spurs look more rejuvenated, so they look like when they go to Selhurst Park, they're going to really bring it on and see what Vieira's made of. Of course, we want to know what your thoughts are going to be very early on in this show. So please, if you're still watching, flip your phone, whatever it is, start typing in who's going to win. Is it going to be, put the symbols down. What do we do for Spurs? We could put a chicken for Spurs, I guess, and then not say that they're chickens. But then you can put the eagles down. There's an eagle emoji down for Palace, because we really want you interactive while you watch the show. Put your thoughts down on what you think the results are going to be as well. So now we've looked at the head-to-head. Let's move on to the next part of the show, which is going to be the previous results. Now, again, as we've highlighted in this, from the head-to-head, we've also seen already that Spurs have won the last game very comfortably when they played at the new White Hart Lane, but the previous results after that has shown that there's been quite a few draws as well. But where Spurs have also won 7 of these fixtures already, and where there's been 7 draws, you've got to think of, how are Spurs going to come away with a win in this fixture? What are they going to do to make Crystal Palace just be Crystal Palace? What's Patrick Vieira going to do? How is he going to unleash Édouard? Is he going to start? We don't know yet, but I think he's actually going to start. Is Benteke going to be on the bench? Is Zaha going to be ready to play? We know Eze's not going to be ready to play. But again, Palace are a new team under a new manager, new coaching system, as well as a new formation that they're looking to play. How are they going to get the best to make sure it's not going to be a draw for this game, but it's going to be their 4th win out of a total of games that they played? It's not going to be easy. Spurs are the team coming into this. They are the league leaders as it stands right now. And if everything finished today, which it's not, thank God, Spurs would be Premier League champions. And how long has that been coming for this team? Palace, on the other hand, are the team on the ascendancy. Now, just because they haven't won a game doesn't mean that they cannot win this game. But previous results have shown, and history has always told you, if you look at that guide, if you look at the head-to-head, you look at previous results, there could be only one clear winner. But don't go on that one just yet, because history can always rewrite itself, as we've always seen with football. It's a funny game. There's no guarantee who is going to win, because upsets can happen on the day. Is this going to be a big upset from Spurs starting the season so well, 3 out of 3, where Palace with 2 points on the board from 2 draws with 1 loss? Is that going to be enough for them to get their first win of the season? Now let's move on to the last portion of the show, which we'll talk about the form guide. And again, as I said, this is the most crucial, important part of the show. Here we go, form guide. So, as we can see, Palace started off with a loss, and then of course they've drawn the last 2 games, whereas Spurs of course have won their last 3 games in a row, winning 1-0 every single time and having 3 clean sheets. Well done to Spurs on that one. It looks like Nuno's been doing a lot of work on the training ground to make Spurs harder to beat, getting a goal, Maybe they're trying to copy their North London rivals, Arsenal, with the 1-0 to the Spurs. That could be the new theme going forward this season. But I would like to see more of this from Spurs, being tough, rugged, and hard to beat. And no, I'm not a Spurs fan. But then again, I want to see Palace come out from the blocks with their Palace Ultras going crazy, going after Spurs, rewrite history. You've only had 3 entire wins in the Premier League facing Spurs, whether that's home or away. 2 home wins, 1 away win. You're at home, Palace, you're going to have to go for it. You can't be scared of Spurs. Yes, they go 1-0 up and then they hold on to that 1-0 lead. You're going to have to do something bigger and better than what anyone else has done so far. You're going to have to go at least 2 goals up in this first half alone. Start asking Spurs some questions. Start asking Harry Kane some questions. But remember, they've also got Son. So it's not just Harry Kane. They've also got Son, who is also their deadly number 2 option. Daily Addy's in the form of his life. But I want to see what Édouard can bring to Palace. I want to see if he can bring that form that he had at Celtic down to Palace. Can he bring it and make Spurs actually pay for not taking any chances should they create as many as I think they may do in this game? So that's our conclusion today. My conclusion is this. I think it's going to be a draw. Just based on the last previous results, yes, the head-to-head does show that Spurs do have the upper hand in this fixture. But I think Palace and Vieira is going to come up with something new. They're going to be looking at the way Spurs have played, looking at what happens when they score a goal and how they've actually clung on to actually keep those results going in their favour. Having an international break is massive. It's good for teams who are playing bad and no points, and it's bad for teams who are on a run by having a week and a half break. By not playing continuous football, how do you get your players back from international break, listen to one manager, go back to the other manager, less time on the training ground? Are you going to come back fighting? I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be in not a 0-0. I think it could be like a 1-1, 2-2 sort of thing. I think you'll see Spurs maybe go in front in the beginning, and then Palace will come back and fight and get those magical 1 point. So that will take them 3 points on the board, with Spurs being 10 points on the board, and that can still be enough to get them to still be the league leaders going through to this weekend of match day 4. So again, if you like this portion of the show of the game day preview, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that notification on so you don't miss shows like this when they come to you every match day on a Saturday. Thank you for watching. I'm Ty Knight for TK24 Sports, and you've been watching Game Day Preview.